Tanisha Prince is also a native of New York. They just keep moving this way. She is a senior manager with Microsoft retail locations and began her career in technology almost 4 years ago when she joined Microsoft. This natural leader has honed her leadership skills throughout her 20-plus professional career. And that's 20-plus years professional career. She leads large teams to positive YOY groups, plus builds, impacts, and guides individuals to their next professional assignments. Tanisha is strongly involved in her community as a liaison at assisting women's groups, the disenfranchised, and through spiritual ministry. She believes she is a work in progress, aren't we all, which helps others grow at the same time. Tanisha is a wife and mother of 3. Please welcome Miss Tanisha Prince.
From Brooklyn, New York. Came here about 17 years ago when my son was 2 weeks old. I was not ready to leave. However, that gentleman over there that's filming me decided he got tired of the hustle and bustle. So because he got tired of the hustle and bustle, and I was pregnant at the time when he decided to make that decision for us to move, my hormones said, let's go. Spiritually, I wasn't ready to go. I was still born and bred in New York, and it was still in me. Nonetheless, it was the best decision we could have made for ourselves. Oh, let me get back close to the mic. It was the best decision that we made for ourselves and for our family and for our future. But I'll get into that a little later on in my little speech here. I had a title. And then after hearing your wonderful speak, Sharon, it was like, okay, I'm not even going to go with the title because you said everything that I wanted to say. It's like you read my information. Say it my way. I like that. Thank you. Do we know that yesterday was Women's Equality Day? Yes. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad. So many people didn't know, including women. And it's crazy because we had to fight on August 26th of 1920 for the right to vote. I thought to myself, that is actually disgusting that we had to fight for our right to vote. Exactly. But we fight for so much more because we are not quitters. We are continuously victorious in everything that we do. Grew up in Brooklyn, family of 3, actually a little larger, but I'll claim the ones that I birthed out of me. Schooling in Brooklyn, went to Norfolk State University. My colleague, thank you. My colleague here with me went to Hampton, so we jab at each other every now and again about that. Started my family young, so when you said 20 plus years professional, I don't think this face shows it. And I entered the workforce very young. While I was in school, pregnant with our first child, entered into the professional workforce. I didn't think it was the professional workforce at the time. I thought it was Tanisha needing money to help support the family because I was pregnant. However, it was entering into the professional workforce. It was walking into my now as to where I am right now and to where I'm going forward. During this time of being in New York and moving here to the DC metro area, we live in Virginia, and honing my skills in my professional career, you think everything should go smoothly, right? You did everything you were supposed to do. You went to school, you got married, you had the kids, you entered the professional job force. Everything should be going smoothly, right? Unfortunately not. I went to have a physical, regular physical, and my blood levels were so low, my doctor said, how am I walking? Now, I was perfectly fine in my mind and my body. Think about navigating those New York, Manhattan streets daily, on a daily basis. It's perfectly fine. I just went for my regular physical. She sent me to a hematologist. For 3 months, every week, I had to have my blood drawn because they couldn't figure out what was going on with me. Hematologists couldn't figure it out, so they sent me to an oncologist. Went to the oncologist, said, well, you don't have cancer. I don't know what's wrong with you. I had to have a bone marrow biopsy. One of the hardest things I think I had to do outside of giving birth. Had that done, and they still couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. They said, we think you have something called lupus. Lupus wasn't really known at that time. So I'm looking up lupus, and ironically, on the trains, all I kept seeing after that was signs about, are you tired? Are you fatigued? you might have lupus. So I'm like, okay, I don't have this. They don't know what's going on. Everything is going to be fine. About 5 months after that, blood levels were normal. They dismissed everything, misdiagnosed. Ended up in Virginia. I'm pregnant with my third child. 3 months in, the doctor said, you are blocking your son's, and I knew I was having a son, heart. His heart is not beating. Went to all my doctors, said I had lupus. Went to Children's Hospital. They wanted to put me on an experimental drug. We went on the experimental drug. The first night I felt like I was on drugs. I didn't sleep. I was fidgety. I was all over the place. My husband said, you are not taking this anymore. I said, I am not taking it anymore. We prayed. By the next time I went to the doctor at Children's Hospital, she said, everything is fine. I was supposed to be on this miracle drug. She said, how did the drug work? It seemed like it went well, blah, blah, blah. My husband said she took it once and never took it again. This has nothing to do with the drug. This is a higher power. After that, I still had to go get sonograms often. I had to still check the baby, had to make sure everything was good. I thought I was fine, everything was going well. Gave birth to Joshua. That's the last of the Prince breed. And 2 months after that, I got sick. Then I started having active symptoms of lupus. Then it started going from SLE to lupus nephritis. So I have lupus of the kidneys. Then it went from lupus of the kidneys to lupus tumoroid, which is a physical and rash illness of lupus. So now I have 3 symptoms of lupus. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to keep going? How am I going to continue to be a professional? How am I going to continue to be this loving wife? Notice how I threw loving in there. How am I going to keep being a mom? How am I going to keep living? I will use my testimony as what it is. It is a testimony. It's my faith in God that continues to push me and persevere through every ailment and every test and every tribulation that comes up. So with me saying that, I knew that right now, to tell whoever was in the midst of hearing my story, you cannot quit. You can't stop. You have to keep moving. You have to be smart about what you're doing. You have to know your body. You have to know your mind. And you have to know what your limits are and your limitations are. I am in a business where it is ongoing. I am pushing daily. I have an amazing team, and not because they're sitting in the audience, but they are an amazing team. They have attributes that complement my attributes that makes our business run the way it needs to run. Because of them, I knew that I would be able to do what I needed to do as a senior manager. I knew I could be the CEO of my business at Microsoft. I knew I can go out on speaking engagements, and I can go on my business trips where I'm out most of the time out of the business at least once a month. I know I can build business and consumer clientele and commercial clientele outside of the business because of my team. You mentioned it in your points. Have a support system. I have an amazing support system at work, and I have an extra amazing support system at home. I have a 23-year-old daughter who is not living with us. She's in North Carolina. After she graduated college, she stayed, and she got a job, and she graduated last May, so she's there. But during the time of me going through the active symptoms with lupus, she was there. She knew when mommy was down. She knew when she had to help out with the younger brothers. And it didn't bother her. She still played sports. She ran track. She ran volleyball. She was in Girl Scouts. She was very social. She was in ministry. She danced in ministry on a praise team. She still lived her life, but she also knew that she needed to support home when mommy was down. I have 2 amazing boys, 17-year-old, he's a senior this year, and a 13-year-old in 8th grade. They're a little bit more challenged with the help area. However, they help each other. They help each other. They may not be able to do what mommy needs them to do all the time because they're boys and they're lazy, and their sports life will take over everything. However, they're there for each other. Because they're there for each other, it makes it easier for us to do what we need to do. It makes it easier for me to get up in the morning when I'm not feeling well and take time for myself. A little bit of self-care in the morning when I come in at 10 o'clock, when I want to be there at 8:30 in the morning, I don't have to worry about that. I have Antonina. She can go in and she can do what she needs to do. And she tells me, boss, do we have to send you home? I'm good, Antonina. Boss, do we have to go and get you? I'm good, Antonina. But that's the support system that I needed. And because I have that support system at work and at home, I'm able to achieve the goals that God has put before me. I'm able to be the professional that I need to be. I'm able to be that cheerleader for others that need me to be that cheerleader. I am able to be the head of my women's ministry because of that. When people need to lean on me, I can allow them to lean on me because I have that strength, because I have that back support pushing me forward to do what I need to do next. Let's go into employment for a little while. I started in this area. I left working in New York for a multi-million-dollar architect. I thought life was good, real good. Came here, got better. Worked at a place where I wasn't, I'm not gonna name names, but I wasn't happy. I took the job for money. Let this be a lesson. Do not take a job for money. We may need it. We may think it's right there because it's a monetary, tangible thing. Don't take a job for money if it's gonna take your soul in the process. It was a lesson learned. Stayed there for 2.5, 3 years. Was recruited by another company. Let your character speak for itself. Because of where I was at and I was miserable, but I didn't let it show that I was miserable, someone saw the great work that I was doing, and I got a phone call and I was recruited. Went to another company, which was amazing. Didn't care for who I was working with, but it was amazing. Got into a great program for leadership. Got recruited because of my character. Literally 2 days prior to me graduating from the program, I got recruited to go on and take the job that I'd been looking for, not knowing that I was looking for, which is here at Microsoft. Never been in technology before. Everyone has phones, right? So we can work with our phones. That's as deep as it went. Maybe a tablet. This is as deep as it went. But after having the interview and hearing where my career trajectory can go within Microsoft as a leader, as a woman in tech, that they would teach me everything that I need to know, I knew it was the right decision to make. When I came into Microsoft, promotion after promotion, not because I'm some great person doing some technological work for everyone. It was my character that spoke for it. It was me wanting to grow other people in the midst of their job placements while they were there. It was me working with other people and building a team that was strong enough to get the next person to their next. Because of my character, and because of who I am, and because of the will of God, and because of the fact that I allowed myself to continue to go and not quit, not give up, knowing that I'm a continual work in progress, but I can still help people while I'm going down in my work, in my issues, and having my downtime in my body and things like that, and I can still build and uplift other people. I knew that I was in the right place and I was able to continue to build. So I have a couple of things I want to say, and then I'm going to get out the way for the next person. Be faithful in that thing that will cause you to be great. You may not think the little things that you are doing for others is causing you to be great, but as my shirt says, let me be great. I'm not allowing anyone else to let me be great, but I'm letting you know, let me be great. Don't give up. Don't doubt. Don't quit so soon. Go through the trials and tribulations first to make sure this is where you need to be. And knowing as women that we have, and I know there's some men in the room, so bear with me, but as women, we have the power to prevail, to travail, to prevail, and to move forward. Comparing, you hit on it. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Compare yourself to yourself. And continue to build that momentum when you are looking in the mirror at yourself and the things that you want to proceed and go through. Make sure that you're looking at yourself in the mirror and comparing yourself to continue to build who you are. And anything worth having is worth fighting for. My life is worth fighting for. I plan on seeing my grandkids. I plan on seeing my daughter being walked down the aisle by my husband. I plan on seeing my youngest kid playing the NBA. Yep, I claimed it. I plan on seeing my 17-year-old get a full ride to college in February when he gets his acceptance letters. These things I plan on seeing, and guess what? I plan on living my best life. I plan on going on vacations with my husband. I plan on retiring from Microsoft at a job where I'm sitting behind a desk in my home. I'm claiming it. Thank you, ladies, for your time.
Our next speaker is Zelda Davis. She served 21 years of active duty with the U.S. Army, where she held numerous leadership positions that focused on training, administration, and program management. She retired as a first sergeant in 2004. Since retirement, she received her master's degree and has held numerous management positions within the federal government. At present, Zelda is Public Affairs Specialist with emphasis on veteran outreach and the Veteran Employment Services Office. She also co-hosts and produced a live talk show called All Things Veteran via Facebook Live Chats. The 30-minute live show covers topics important to veterans, such as entrepreneurship, how to obtain federal government contracts, warriors to workforce internship school, VA, vet centers, reasonable accommodations, knowing your rights in the workplace, and federal employment opportunities. In other words, she covers a lot of stuff. Zelda is married, mother of 2 daughters and 1 granddaughter. Please welcome retired Sergeant Zelda Davis.
Thank you so much for inviting us here. Again, my name is Zelda Davis. I'm with the Department of Veteran Affairs. And my colleague, I'm going to call her up here too because we're a team. This is a team effort. We're both veterans. I've served 21 years in the Army, and she served how many years? 20 years in the Air Force. And so we both joined the Department of Veteran Affairs. The mission of what we do is in our name, veterans. The Department of Veteran Affairs, we service veterans and their families. And that's a great mission, right?
Absolutely.
Right, and so what we do is as we serve veterans, we make sure that they get the best health care, but not just the best health care, but also that they receive their benefits and services that they honored because they sacrificed their service for this country. And so some of there's 3 administrations within the VA. You have the Veteran Health Administration, you have the Veteran Benefits Administration, and you have the National Cemetery Administration. So under the 3 administrations, there are many career fields. A lot of people assume that the VA only hires healthcare professionals. That's not correct. The VA hires, yes, nurses and doctors, allied health professionals, but they also hire administrative and technical career fields. Those are jobs if you are in a career of interest with finance, human resources, business, engineers, IT, to name a few. But they also offer support services for those people that want to be electricians, law enforcement, gardeners, housekeeping, maintenance. VA has something for everyone, and not to exclude students and trainees. If you're in school, we have the Pathways program, which is governed by OPM. But you don't just have to be a college student. You could be a high school student. You could be a full-time student. You could be a full-time or part-time student. All you have to be is in school. So there's 3 parts to the Pathways program. You have the internship program. You just have to be in school, part-time, full-time. It could be a university, college, high school. It could be a technical technical program, or it could be, name some other programs, what you think?
It could be anything, any trade school that you may be in.
Yes.
Anything to that nature. You just basically have to be in school to apply for the internship under Pathways.
And so then there's also the Recent Graduates program. When you get out of school, whether it's high school or college, you go on USA Jobs, and VA has specific jobs set aside for those people that just got out of school. And then you have the Presidential Management Fellows program, that's the PMF program. And under the PMF program, you have to have at least a master's degree or a PhD to apply. And these positions, you are geared towards leadership positions in the federal government. So from there, I'm going to let my colleague talk about the different competitive packages that the VA offers.
Okay, again, my name is Emily Berry, and I work with this wonderful woman here, Ms. Zelda Davis, and we have another colleague. It's really three of us. The other one is Ray Bradford. But just to give you an idea of the different type of packages or hiring, I'm going to do the hiring, the special hiring authorities that the VA has. You can come in if you're a veteran, a transitioning service member, who's someone who's getting out of the military. Also, our military service members, that's the Guard and the Reserve, and also spouses. So you could be a spouse married to a military member, or just be a spouse of a disabled veteran, and we have programs that will help you get into the VA. So what we want you to take away from this is we have lots of different career fields and career paths so you can work at the Department of Veteran Affairs. So feel free to stop by our table. We have a lot of information over there about careers in the Department of Veteran Affairs. And please feel free to tell your friends and any other veterans that you know that the VA is always hiring. And we have more civilians than we have military people, so it's a great way of life and a great place to look for employment.
So what she's saying is, even though our mission is Veteran Employment Services Office, VA hires non-veterans too. So please, if you're interested in the VA, come to our table. We have a lot of information. It's not just for veterans. We have a website too. It's called the VA for Vets website. And so we have a lot of, we feature jobs not just with the VA, but we also partner with other federal agencies with a common goal that whatever veteran or military personnel would like to join forces with the VA or just come into the federal government, we have something for you. So we also have social media sites. So how can you connect with us? There's 3 employment websites that you can connect. One is usajobs.gov. I know that's a beast in itself. But there's also, VA has the VA Careers. That's www.vacareers.va.gov. And then of course, we have the VA for Vets. Even though we're talking about our mission is veterans, we service veterans, you don't have to be a veteran to come to our website. Our website is a one-stop shop where we have training, resources. If you're not sure about how to write a federal resume, you can click on, come to our website, and again, you can take virtual training, webinars. We partner with OPM. Right now there seems to be, the OPM is going through some changes right now, so the virtual training sessions are kind of on hold. So depending on what direction they're going to go through, but we are still partnering. We met a young lady right here who does resume training, resume writing. So we're going to partner with her because again, the common goal is to help. So even though we talk about veterans, we're here to help anyone. Any woman, we are women, so we support women. And so please come by our table. We are blessed to be here. We wish that there was more people here because this is a great session.
It really is.
I'm learning, I'm being motivated. Even though I'm in my second career, I'm getting ready to leave the federal government. My goal is to leave the federal government next year. I'm going to have my second retirement. I want to do my own thing. And I listen to what you say. And so sometimes we allow fear. I allow fear. I started a interior decorating business. She pushes me. She pushes me a lot. And so, but I kind of allow fear to come in. Have a website, did everything, and then because the people, I didn't think it took off the way it should. And I heard the young lady say, "Don't quit. I got to do the work."
That's right.
My business sign says traditional design that it's not going to do anything if I don't do it today. And so I'm so glad to just go move forward. I'm going to write a book.
Thank you.
I've been talking about that for some years, and so she kind of poured into me. And so I told my husband, just told him a couple of days ago, I said, if I don't do it, I keep telling him I'm tired by the time I get home. So I committed myself to at least an hour in the evening to do something towards this book. And how I got inspired to do the book was, when we come to work, we are stressed sometimes. And so I read the word, I meditate a lot, and so then I started sending out words of encouragement with God's word. And it became a ministry. And so people say, "Oh, you need to," when I would stop doing it, say, "Oh no, you need to send it out because I read it, it helps me," and then they send it forward. So the word is going forward. So my daughter said, "Mom, you should write a book." And I said, "I don't have time, it's a lot." But she said, "Mom, you have the information, you have all the material because I saved everything." So I didn't realize I've been doing this since 2014. I had all this information just sitting there. And so I'm going to, Pastor told us Sunday, he said, a lot of you have things right in your hand that you can use. God will bless you, but you have to move. You have to move. So I'm going to move. I'm going to step out on faith. And she keeps saying, when did you say you're going to leave? I said, December next year because she knows.
I'm right behind her, so I got to keep encouraging her to go.
I would just
People
say,
don't want to
don't give
leave.
up on your dreams. You know, we are, women are very, we wear many hats. We are daughters, we are sisters, we are wives, mothers, we are girlfriends, we are everything. And so because we wear many hats, we can do many things. So I would say, as you told me, don't give up on you. Let me be great. So I wrote that down. I'm going to get a t-shirt made because I'm going to be great.
You are great. You're great. You're going to get a t-shirt. Thank you.
I just also want to remind you that this conference is being sponsored by Sanford Bishops, but it's also, the event was organized by Widows and Orphans of God, DBA Women of Good Works. They are a 501c3 organization serving the DMV area, and their mission is to provide temporary or ongoing assistance to individuals and families in distress. And you can always think of them as an organization to give a donation to because there are always people who need help.